As an old player who has had his love for this game revitalized, today we're going to be learning about modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Blackwing archetype, and I had no idea, guys. I had no idea there were so many Blackwing cards that came out since I stopped playing this game, and now there's an entire Assault Blackwing thing, a couple Feather cards. I don't know. Regardless, I am excited to learn about this. My brother was a big Blackwing player, so back in the day, I was very familiar with Blackwing cards. My brother and I constantly, I was always fighting against Blackwing. It was one of my brother's favorite archetypes. So regardless, I'm excited to talk about this today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's get started with Assault Blackwing Kunai the Drizzle. Interesting. Okay, so we're starting off with an Assault Blackwing. I don't know if these are going to be different. I just know some of the names that we were getting, like when we were structuring the idea for this video. Regardless, okay? You could special summon this card from your hand by attributing one Blackwing monster. If summoned this way, this card is treated as a tuner monster. Once per turn, you can target one synchro monster you control and declare a level from 1 to 8. Becomes a level until the end of the turn. Okay. I can't see how much this would be helpful unless there are more Blackwing synchros that we're going to get into, because from the Blackwing synchros that I remember, but then again, you could always just use it, right? There's no restrictions on, like, you have to summon a Blackwing monster. I don't know. I don't know how good this one is, but we'll have to wait and see what else ends up coming up. We also have Chinook the Snow Blast. It doesn't look like a Blackwing card. Looks like a Sunwing card, okay? You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, send one Blackwing Synchro monster or one Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, until the end of this turn, the targeted monster loses 700 attack, also negate its effects. This is a quick effect, and if you control a Dark Synchro monster, you can only use this effective Blackwing once per turn. I thought this was going to be a little bit more like Kalut, but to have the targeted monster lose 700 attack, is it really worth it for all of that? You can send this card, and then you have to send one Blackwing Synchro monster to the graveyard, but can you do anything with the Synchro monsters once it goes to the graveyard? Because I know there's that stupid rule, like I learned the hard way with Starlight Road, the Synchro monster didn't meet the proper requirements for Synchro Summon. Such BS, dude. Oh my god. So, can you use that armor monster in the graveyard? Probably not, so maybe this is another card that I probably wouldn't use in a Blackwing deck. But we also have Gladius, the Midnight Sun. If the only face-up monster you control is one Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Gradius, the Midnight Sun, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. There's other Blackwing cards that I'd rather use. That one's not that strong, okay? We also have Gust, the Back Blast. If you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. If your opponent's monster attacks a Blackwing monster you control, the attacking monster loses 300 attack during the damage step only. This one's situational. I can see it coming in handy here and there. But again, with all of the Blackwing cards that we have at our disposal and all of the ones that we're probably going to be taking a look at, I don't think that I would really include this one either. But sometimes like that little extra 300 can really make a difference. We also have Hartman the Dust, okay? Very interesting artwork on these Blackwings. It looks like they're just like the animals. Obviously they're the animals opposed to like the guys in costumes, but it's just a little bit strange, you know? I didn't think they would take the artwork this way. If you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Hartman the Dust, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Blackwing Hartman the Dust once per turn this way. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one other Blackwing monster you control, increase this card's level by that monster's. Again, we're really working, like, are there some XYZs or some, like, crazy synchro summoners, or crazy synchro monsters that we're going to be taking a look at? Other than that, I don't look at these cards and I go, you know, that's pretty good. I thought we were about to look at some, like, really busted stuff. But we also have Chris, the Crack of Dawn. If you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing, Chris, the Crack of Dawn, you can special summon this card from your hand. I'm going to stop reading that effect because they all have that effect. Sorry. You can only special summon Blackwing, Chris, the Crack once per turn this way. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by spell or trap effects. It's a level 4, 1900. My problem is, I don't know, like, back in the day, I would look at that. You know what? Has a special summon effect, 1900, 4-star. Pretty good card. But in the grand scheme of things, if we're talking about the modern game now, is this really something that you need? I don't know. So definitely if we're playing, like, if this was somehow legal in something like Edison format, this card would be really good, okay? We also have Simoon, the Poison Wind. Of course, I was going to skip that first effect, but of course it just doesn't have that this time around. If you control no monsters and have this card in your hand, you can banish one other Blackwing monster from your hand, place one Black Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone, then either send this card to the graveyard, or immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon without attributing. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the rest of this turn except dark monsters. You can only use this effect of Blackwing once per turn. During the end phase, send the Black Whirlwind placed by this effect to the graveyard. If you do, take 1,000 damage. Oh, so if you do, but it's not like you can send the Black Whirlwind, which is a little bit interesting. I don't know. I don't think that this one's that great either, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, it's a good searcher for Black Whirlwind, but if you get it one time, and then you could summon this card as your normal summon, I don't know. I'm not feeling this one either. This might be the first archetype that we've taken a look at that I can clearly see that these... Oh, that's not true. I was about to say that I can clearly see that these cards aren't that good for the modern game, but we also just took a look at the Advanced Crystal Beast cards. Oh, this artwork's cool. We have Sudri the Phantom Glimmer. When this card is normal summon, you can add one card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from your deck to your hand, except this card. You contribute one monster, special summon one Phantom Glimmer token, 700, 700, and you take 700 damage. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except Synchro monsters. I like that one. Finally, we have something that's a little bit more unique, a little bit more useful. I think this card could be a decent addition to the deck, okay? We also have, another cool piece of artwork, Tornado the Reverse Wind. When this card is normal summon while your opponent controls a special summon monster, you can target one Blackwing tuner in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Blackwing monsters. Also, special summon that monster, but its effects are negated. So you get a free Blackwing Synchro monster. Again, very good card, very helpful. Crap, why am I having a blank? Blizzard. Blizzard, the white bird. Yeah, that's gotta be Blizzard. Because it's like a better version of that kind of, because this is a 4-star, you can get the tuner. Oh. I don't recall what level the Blackwing tuners are. That's the problem. But I would imagine that this is a better version of it. Yeah, it's got to be, right? It's got to be. I don't know why. I'm having a little bit of a blank on those, okay? We also have Zonda the Dusk. Again, beautiful piece of artwork with this one. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Synchro monsters. You can only use one of the following effects once per turn and only once that turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one monster on the field, return it to the hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon level 5 or higher, Blackwing monster from your hand or deck, then take damage equal to its attack. So I see with these new cards, you are paying a little bit more life points than usual, but even then, it's nothing really significant, to be honest. I just have to watch like my Solemn Judgments and all that. But then again, is Solemn Judgment even something that sees high level play anymore? Probably, I would imagine. Yeah, that card, that's a timeless card. It's gotta, okay? But this is another really good card. I like this. I like that it has the regular effect. I like that it has the effect from the graveyard, and the effect from the graveyard is quite powerful, and the fact that you can kind of just choose, like, really any Blackwing card, like, that's pretty cool, to be honest with you, okay? Oster, the South Wind. Cannot be special summoned. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lower Blackwing monsters, special summon it in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard to activate one of the following effects. Place Black Feather counters on one Blackwing Dragon you control equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Place one Wedge counter on each face-up monster your opponent controls that does not have one. I don't know what the heck a Wedge counter is, and a Black Feather counter. I'm guessing there's a card that's going to include that. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to remember if there's a Blackwing Synchro monster that has something to do with counters. I think that there is. Is it called a Black Feather counter? Sorry, you know what? You know what I was talking about when I started this video? Like, hey, look at me. I'm so great when it comes to Blackwing cards. I have went against it so many times growing up, but the problem is I've been so many years removed from that I guess my knowledge isn't as good as I thought it was. Maybe there was a Synchro monster that I was remembering, but I'm sure we'll run into another card with the Black Feather counters. We also have Decay the Ill Wind. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, take 1,000 damage. When this is normal or special summon, you can target one Blackwing monster you control, then activate one of these effects. Increase or reduce its level by 1. Yeah, nah. This isn't something that I can, like, unless you really, really want to get specific with your synchros, I don't see this being all that useful. There's quite a few cards over here that I just would straight up kind of ignore, to be honest with you. We also have Pinaki the Waxing Moon. Cannot be used as synchro material except for a Blackwing synchro monster. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there from the field this turn, you can add one Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand except Blackwing Pinaki the Waxing Moon. You can only use this effect of Blackwing once per turn. So it's kind of like the Dark Soul. And I would imagine that, is it really all that helpful in the modern game? I feel like that this entire archetype is for something like the hat format, or even before that, if you want to introduce it like to the Edison, but I know that you can't just put those cards in. I just don't feel like it stacks up to some of the modern cards that we've seen, you know? We also have Shamal the Sandstorm. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, place okay, again, we're going back to the Black Feather counters. Oh, sorry. Place one Black Feather Whirlwind from your deck. What the heck is Black Feather Whirlwind? I guess it's another version of Black Whirlwind. Okay, so you can get that in your spell and trap card zone. If a Blackwing Synchro monster or monsters or Blackwing Dragon is special summoned to your field while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one Blackwing monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then take 700 damage. That's a much better card. And it doesn't have the effect where it's like, okay, you have to send that continuous spell. I'm imagining that it's a continuous spell. You don't have to send that continuous spell to the graveyard at the end of the turn. Plus, you get that additional effect. I think this is a very, very strong card. Definitely a good addition to the Blackwing deck, okay? We also have Sharnga the Waning Moon. If a monster with 2,000 or more attack is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon this once per turn this way. If you control a Blackwing Synchro monster quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Very strong card. I like that one. That's very helpful. And of course, the fact that it's a quick effect definitely helps. So, looks like we're getting into a little bit stronger support. Let's see if we can continue that on with Steam the Cloak. If this card leaves the field, special summon one Steam token, level 1, 100. If this card's in your graveyard, you contribute one monster, special summon this card from the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per duel. If this card is summoned this way, it is used and is used as synchro material. All other synchro materials must be Blackwing monster. I would imagine that would be helpful. You can get like a level 5 or level 4 out at least if you're contributing one of your tokens. That one I'm not too sure about, but I do see potential with that effect, to be honest with you, okay? We also have Vada, the Emblem of Wandering. If you control a Blackwing monster other than this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon... Oh my god, I keep reading that effect. Same card. You can special summon it. During your main phase, you can send this card from the field to the graveyard along with one or more non-tuner Blackwing monsters from your deck, so that the total levels sent are equal to exactly 8. If you do, special summon one Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except dark monsters. So you just so you just get Blackwing or Blackwing Dragon on the field? That's a great card. And you can get some of your like go to Blackwings into the graveyard too, dude. That's a very, very strong card. Now, okay, we're moving on to a new synchro monster, the Assault Blackwing. Man, I love the artwork for this one as well. It kind of looks like there's a planet behind him. Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling. Okay, if this card is sprinkle summoned, sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired today. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as a material, it is treated as a tuner monster while face up on the field. This card gains 300 attack for each Blackwing monster in your graveyard. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Winged Beast synchro type monster in your graveyard, except this card, special summon it. So that's a broken synchro monster. You just get a free synchro monster. After that, you get the giant attack boost, and you could use this card for an additional synchro. That's a very good card. Very, very good card. I'd definitely be using that one. We also have another one. Onimaru, the Divine Thunder. This already sounds like it's going to be a banger of a card, okay? Oh my god, a level 12? This is probably what it's for. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as a material, it is treated as a tuner. What could you use this as a tuner for? It's level 12. Anyways, it's treated as a tuner while face up on the field. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target one Blackwing monster in your graveyard. Oh, there we go. No, I should have saw that coming. You can target one Blackwing monster in your graveyard. This card's level becomes the same as that monster's. You can only use this effect once per duel. If a card that was synchro summoned using only synchro monsters attacks, this card gains 3,000 attack during the damage step only. Another crazy good card we're talking about over here. Okay, so the support for Blackwings in general has been okay, but the synchro monsters are going crazy. We have another one. Okay. If this card's synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as a material, it is treated as a tuner monster. So I'm imagining all of the Assault Blackwings kind of have that same effect. Once per turn, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of other Blackwing monsters you control and destroy them. Once per turn? Up to? Another insanely good card we're talking about over here. Okay, these brand new synchro monsters are busted, dude. We also have Sayo, the Rain Hider. If this card's synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster's material, it is treated as a tuner while face up on the field. Twice per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. A level 2A, so are any of those tokens tuners? I can see this being helpful. It's probably just going to be one of those cards that you like get out, you have another tuner, and then it's just like a 2-star tuner. I don't know how helpful this one would be. I'd have to like get into like how the Blackwing decks are actually played. But we also have Soya the Rainstorm. If this card synchro summoned using a Blackwing, let me guess, it is treated as a tuner while face up on the field. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target one Assault Blackwing monster in your graveyard, special summon it. During your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent to this turn, you can banish one other Assault Blackwing monster from your graveyard and special summon this card. While this card isn't nearly as broken as the other cards, I think this is flat out just a very good synchro. I like the double effects that it has, and you can definitely get another Assault Blackwing back on the field. I think that's very useful, and you could probably end up synchroing again. We also have another synchro. How many synchros are we going to be taking a look at? Boris Storm, the Wicked Wind. Okay? If this card... every time I go to ignore the effect, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to read the special summon. I'm not going to read that it becomes a tuner. Hey, this is already a tuner. Okay. If this card is synchro summoned, you can send one Blackwing monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the same as that monster's. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can banish one Blackwing monster from your graveyard or face-up field except the destroyed monster, special summon the destroyed monster in your field in defense position. I love that. I have always been a very big fan of something along the lines of Goyo Guardian or that one Arcana Force monster. I love that just as a weird card to throw in your counter fairy deck because it's another fairy. Anything that gives me my opponent's monsters, creature swap, enemy controller, been a big fan of. I think it just adds a lot of fun to the game. Like, getting your opponent's monsters, the unique plays that you can make with that. So I like that in general, but it, like, objectively is also a very good card to use, okay? We also have Graham the Shining Star. Must first be synchro summoned. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower non-tuner Blackwing monster from your hand, but its effects are negated. I'll pass on this one. This is one of the synchro monsters that don't look so good. So, the Assault Blackwings are like the big boss monsters of the Blackwing archetype, and the Blackwing synchro monsters are just kind of like, eh. But we have another just Blackwing. We have Nothing the Starlight, or Nothung the Starlight. If this card is special summoned, inflict... Actually, this card looks familiar. Is this an older Blackwing card? Regardless, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Then, one face-up monster your opponent controls loses 800 attack and defense. You can only use this effect of Blackwing Nothing the Starlight once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Blackwing monster in addition to your normal summon and set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. I think this is okay. This is okay. You get the 800 damage, you can reduce the attack of one of your opponent's monsters, and with the amount of Blackwing cards that you have where they kind of just special summon themselves, and all of the Blackwing cards that special summon other Blackwing cards, I don't really think that you need this effect. Your extra deck will probably be cluttered like hell with a bunch of Blackwing cards, so I could see like this being left out of a lot of decks. We also have, Full Armor Master. We have a little bit of an upgrade. Not an Assault Blackwing though, okay? So, unaffected by other cards' effects. Already great. Each time an opponent's monster activates its effect, place one wedge counter on that opponent's monster, maximum 1. After that effect resolves, once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter. Take control of it. Once per turn during your end phase, you can destroy all monsters in the field that have a wedge counter. Oh my god. That's the best card. That's the best card. Dude, I actually like that Full Armor Master out of all of them is like the big baddie. Dude, this card's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Busted, broken, should be banned. But the thing is, with the state of the modern game, I don't know if it's like actually that busted, but from an old player who was playing predominantly in the hat format and before that, this card is ridiculous, okay? And it's just flat out unaffected by other effects, okay? Plus you can use all of those other Blackwing cards that just reduce the attack of stuff, have some Kalutes in your hand. Oh, you wouldn't lose. We also have Blackwing Tamer, Obsidian Hawk Joe. That's a weird name, okay? But anyways, you can target one level 5 or higher winged beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it. When your opponent activates a... Is it just so you can use it at any time? It doesn't say once per turn, so probably just once. Never mind. And I forgot to mention that, yeah, I was going to talk more about Full Armor Master, but we took a look at it already. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets only this card, or when your opponent targets this card for an attack, which is a quick effect, you can target one other Blackwing monster you control that will be an appropriate target. That card's attack and effect now targets a new target. You can only use each effect once per turn. It's not bad. Not bad. I could see this being pretty situational. Anyway, it would be pretty good just to like have on the field hanging out, you know? We also have an upgrade to the Blackwing Dragon. We have Black-Winged Assault Dragon. Must be either synchro summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing one tuner synchro monster and one Blackwing Dragon from your face-up field and or graveyard. So, yeah, just get it for free if they're in the graveyard. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, place one Black Feather counter on this card when that effect resolves, and if you do, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. During your opponent's turn, which is a quick effect, you contribute this card with 4 more Black Feather counters to destroy all cards on the field. Again, very strong, very good card. Very good card. You don't even need that second effect. Like, I mean, it would definitely be useful, don't get me wrong. You have that backup option, but if it was just like, just the burn effect, I think that's really good too. Plus it's 3,200, 2,800. Again, another very, very strong card. But we move on. Oh, there it is. Black Feather Whirlwind. So it's another continuous spell. It's just, I'm going to guess it's a busted version of Black Whirlwind. Once per turn, if you special summon a Dark Synchro monster from the extra deck, you can target one of your Blackwing monsters or Blackwing Dragon that is banished in your graveyard with less attack than that special summon monster. Special summon it. Once per turn, if a dark monster you control be destroyed, battle, or card effect, you can remove one Black Feather counter from your field instead. So I see where the Black Feather counters are kind of coming into play. This card's completely busted too. This card's phenomenal. That's so much better than Black. You know, having Black Whirlwind and Black Feather Whirlwind, oh my god, and cards that like spread around the counters, I could see this actually being an archetype where the counters actually mean something, because there's been so many decks throughout the years where it's like, place this counter here, Venoms come to mind, but I know that's like a special kind of suck. But there's been so many times where archetypes have kind of like, hey, you can do this, you can place this counter on this, and it's just like never meant anything. I could see it actually working for this deck. We also have cards for Black Feathers. Banish one Blackwing monster from your hand, draw 2 cards. You cannot special summon the turn you activate this card. I think it's a good card, good draw power, good for the beginning of the game. I think it's pretty good. But again, in the modern game, do you need to get the game going a little bit quicker than that? Do you need to have all your special summons? Not too sure. We also have Raptor Wing Strike. Shuffle one Blackwing monster you control into the main deck. Add one Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand. I don't think I'd use that one. I'd rather just straight up use Magical Mallet, to be honest with you. One of the most underrated cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, okay? We also have Black Shadow Squall. When a spell or trap card is activated, remove one Black Feather counter from your field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If you control Blackwing Dragon, you can set this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. A spell speed 3 with that effect too, and you can use it twice. That's also an incredible card. So, I would appreciate if anybody could answer this in the comments. I could see a world where people are just kind of making the Blackwing beatdown deck, and I could also see people kind of like really incorporating the Black Feather counters also into their build, or does it just kind of like all work together once you have them all? I would appreciate if anybody knows that and could shed some light in the comments down below, because I would appreciate that. I think I said appreciate twice. Apologies again. I'm very tired making this video today, guys, so sorry about that if I repeated myself a couple times. But again, this is another card that's really, really, really good. We also have Blackback. During your turn, target one Blackwing monster with 2,000 or less attack in your graveyard. Special summon that target. You cannot normal summon or set during the turn you activate this card. I think it's okay. I don't know. It's a free summon. You don't necessarily need to normal summon and set during the turn you activate this card. You can activate on your opponent's turn. I could see it being like a not Reinforced Truth. There was a card. I've been a big X-Saber player my entire life, and there was a trap card where you specifically special summon Pashual, used it on your opponent's turn. You use it at the end of your opponent's turn. Like, I think it could work kind of similar to this, but I don't see the deck really needing this. So we have another spell speed 3, Blackbird Close. When an opponent's monster activates its effect, you can send one face-up Blackwing monster you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then you can special summon one Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. If you control a Blackwing Synchro monster or Blackwing Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand. What the hell? It's another just completely busted and broken card. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This is why I don't really love the modern game all that much, okay? We also have Blackwing Twin Shadow. Shuffle 2 of your Blackwing monsters, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner that are banished and or in your graveyard to the deck and extra deck. Special summon 1 Blackwing Synchro monster or Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck, whose levels equal the total level of those 2 monsters, and this is treated as a Synchro summon. If you control 2 or more Blackwing monsters, you can activate this card from your hand. You can only activate this once per turn. So it's just a free Synchro, and it's a trap card. I don't know if people would use that, though, to be honest with you. I don't know if people would use that. Also, how long has that guy's face been under me? This video's a mess today, guys. Video's a complete mess. So why don't I point you over to where we reacted to the Advanced Crystal Beast cards, an archetype that unfortunately sucks. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Take care, everybody.